Hello everybody and welcome back to the third review now on the channel. Today I got some hype. As you guys know, if you've watched the prior ones, we had the UI Sign Goku, we had this previous guy right here, Big Box, the event exclusive Vegito. So far that one has the highest score on the channel, and I don't know that that'll change. If it is going to change, it's going to change today, because today we have the legendary Super Saiyan Son Goku 3.0 body style. One of my favorite things about this guy is, other than all of it, he is very anime sized. Like, he looks like cut straight out of the manga. The hair coloring, the buffness, obviously the buffness is something else. Like, he is ripped, he is jacked, he looks awesome. Which leads me into, if you're new, we do out of 50. The score is out of 50. First impressions: the paint, the quality, the accessories, the articulation. It's 5 categories. Every single one can get 10 points. 5 is dead neutral, and then anything past 5, you start to get really good. Anything below 5, you start to get really bad. I don't think this guy is going to get a horrible score. I reviewed him for a reason. He's hype. I think that, obviously, I want to get gotta get the views on the channel. But, I don't think he's going to get a bad review. We'll save the bad reviews for later, whenever I get enough people to get mad at me. But, okay, let's get into this guy. First impressions is the first category. The box, it's not the biggest box. We got a huge box next to it. Not the biggest box, so on the shelf, might not stand out. But if you know anything about Dragon Ball, it's gonna stand out. This right here, the powering up Super Saiyan, they just, I don't think this has just killed Krillin. Actually, I think that's Awakens. This is more got knocked into the volcano area, and then came back and starts putting hands on Frieza. But yeah, the charge ups, the yellow background really helps it pop. And then obviously you have Goku, and he is big as hell. Probably one of the most legendary moments in the series, probably the most legendary transformation in the series. I don't know that it's going to get passed up, just because of the original hype that Super Saiyan had. Maybe the UI stuff was doing a good job, but I don't know that even they can pass Super Saiyan 1, like the original transformation. So first impressions, like, he's getting a 10. It's one of the most identifiable figures in the line. It's one of the most identifiable Goku forms in the line, and it's the most identifiable character in the line. So that's an easy 10. Starting off very strong. Now we got to get into the paint. The paint on this guy, actually, there is a flaw. It's kind of a big one. In fact, I think they're reissuing it to change it, and I haven't seen a reissue. This is not a reissue. But we'll start on the back here. So on the back, I think I see like a little dot. It doesn't look like dirt on his butt cheek. I see like a little yellow splotch here on the boot. Very minor stuff that I don't think would be the most noticeable. The thing that would be really noticeable is probably already noticeable. The coloring difference on this chest piece as opposed to his torso. Hang on. As opposed to his torso and arms. I had to focus up. The reasoning is that this is like a different feeling plastic. It feels a little bit more malleable. It's not. It's a hard plastic, but it feels like a different quality plastic. This was like the smooth plastic that you get on... I'm trying to think of what really would be a good example. Okay. He's going to be in a size comparison later, and also future review coming. But, like, his armor is very shiny plastic. That's the type of plastic that they're using on this guy's chest piece. His abs match the arms. His chest does not. It's kind of glaringly obvious on the video, especially. It looks pretty horrific. I'm looking through the actual video now. In person, I swear to you, it's not that bad. People are going to claim to notice. I personally am not the biggest paint guy, so, like, I guess it's not as bad for me. but to me, yeah, it's just not that bad, but it is noticeable, and it is going to dock him some points. But before we get into that, let's look at this face. Face is really solid. The hair, my god, the good hair. I don't like the, like, I guess translucent-ish Super Saiyan hair. I do like the matte finish hair. Goku Dayama, the Super Saiyan Dayama, I guess figure and even in the show, they're using the more matte finish hair. So good. I love the hair. I do notice that the belt, the boots, the ripped up wrist gauntlets, they're all very well colored. On the camera, this looks a little lighter than this. In person, it's not. I don't believe it is. Yeah, looking at it like in person, it's not really noticeable. I think it's just like the lighting. And if it is, it's such a not noticeable thing that the camera is the only thing that's actually making it jump. I will say also with the 3.0 bodies, there is a little bit more of exposed gapping in the legs and hip areas. So obviously they've painted pretty well inside of everything. You can see some of the body, but like I don't think you're going to have your Goku post like that. And if you do, you can just do that and cover it. Yeah, I don't know. This guy's solid. Let's look. I accidentally dropped the accessories box, so, you know, that's great. His Kamehameha effect piece does have, like, some of the white shading to give off, like, the source of the light, and then kind of a more translucent throughout the middle, so it's nice. We'll also talk about the accessories later. Every single hand matches exactly with the figure. None of them look off-putting. I don't see any blemishes. The faces, we have no paint issues there. This, personally, favorite face. No issues there. He has a secondary hairpiece. No issues. And a secondary head hairpiece. Also, no issues. It's even painted on the insides, other than where the peg goes, which you'll never have that exposed if you're posing unless you have a melted face Goku, which I assume you do not, because this Goku should be dominating in any pose that you set it. And also, no issues here. Literally, no issues on the accessories. The one glaring paint issue, in my opinion, is that. It's the chest piece. It is noticeable, and because of that, I cannot give it like the bee's knees score, because this does actually have a glaring issue. Vegito, you might not have liked the paint, and if you remember, if you go watch that video, there were some stress lines, but that's different than like an entire chest piece that is a whole different color. It even looks and feels like a different type of plastic. You gotta dock points for that, so paint is gonna get a 7. And I'm doing that more from an unbiased opinion. If it was biased, I would actually not give it a 7. I'd give it a higher score, because I don't usually care so much about the paint. However, unobjectively, that's not a good look. In person, maybe it's not that bad, but you're probably going to have this guy under really nice lighting. You're probably going to show this guy off in pictures, and he's noticeable. I'm going to mercy him and give him a 7.5. That's all. Like, I can't give him more, just simply due to, again, the fact that there is a legitimate paint issue that caused a reissue to happen. But moving on, let's talk about quality, because one thing he did not need to get reissued for is the quality. Everything here is really good. There's no creaking, there's no groaning, nothing's super loose. Like, maybe up here you gotta do a little bit of movement, but everything up here also feels smooth, so it feels like it's gonna move, but it doesn't feel like it's gonna move like a ton. It's not too bad. I know this is probably dizzying to watch, but the quality is solid. Everything that he has feels good. His accessories feel good. Other than this paint application, the paint applications feel good. There is only like that little speck here and like that little speck like on the cheek. but everything feels solid. Even the plastic has one really cool detail. This isn't necessarily paint because this is literally part of the mold, but it's hard to get this guy to focus. Let's see. Okay, I guess maybe I can get it on. Yeah, okay, somewhere in here you can kind of see the battle damaging. He has battle damaging all over him, and it's actually really quality. I seen a custom where somebody actually painted in blood marks and dirt marks where they needed to be. Really solid. But yeah, super quality. I mean, he's not going anywhere other than, like I said, this, which did cause a reissue. But we docked points in paint for that. And quality, I look more for creaking, groaning, too loose, too not loose, and kind of stuff like that. Maybe if something was missing, maybe if something broke the moment you take it out the package. Nothing has. And so, for quality, I'm going to give him a 9. I believe, at least right now, a 9 is good. I might review this later on. But I would say a 9 is solid. I'm not going to give him a 10, because while we did dock points for the chest piece, that did also cause a reissue. And so, like, you know, dock a point there. If I'm giving a 7.5 instead of a 7 in the paint, I'm going to dock him a point in the quality because he did have to get reissued. Other than that, everything about him is literally A1 from the day one. He is very nice, but I could also review this and maybe give him a 9.5 to 10 at the end of the video. I don't know. Right now, I'm comfortable with a 9. Up next, though, is going to be the accessories, and he's got accessories. So let's just lay out the faces. He has the accessories, and also as DLC, you get him getting beat up by Full Power Frieza. That's a DLC face. We're going to have a review for Full Power Frieza. And honestly, these guys are yin and yang. If you buy this guy, even if you don't care about SH Figuarts, but you want to get this guy because of the memories, get the Frieza. Have the combo. But yeah, so you have your faces. You have the yelling face, which will go on any of the heads. It looks, obviously, here really good with this other head, which we will talk about in a second. You have the snarling head. You have a smiling, very cocky looking face, I should say, not head. And then here, obviously, you have your typical kind of just a, I wouldn't say neutral, he kind of looks pissed off, but at least as neutral as you're gonna get with this guy, because this is going to war Goku. Obviously, you have the extra hairpiece, which I have pulled to the side because it is very, very easy to get that on. And now he looks totally different. He looks a little bit edgy, a little bit seen. He's got the bang in front of his head. He is about to, you know, beat Superman, unless, you know, let's just get in that debate in the comments. The Goku Superman thing is a fascinating experience. I'm popping the head off. Super easy to pop the head off, by the way. There's no strain on that, which makes me know that the peg is never going to have issues. Thank God. But you can actually put this face onto this hair. It looks maybe a little silly, but, like, it's not too bad. And then we can stick it here. Let me get off camera so I have room to stick it on. Boom. And now he looks like a completely different figure. Now, you have done messed up. You pissed him off. He is hulked out. He is mad. And yeah, he's about to whoop ass. So, very, very cool that you get... Technically, you don't get 3 heads with this guy, but you do get a adjustment for the base head. So in a way, you kind of do get 3, if you want to call it 3. So that's really impressive. You get really good faces as well. None of them look bad. All of them look really good because they very much take after the anime style. I'm going to put these up. We're going to bring out his... Okay. We're going to get his Kamehameha blast effect out if it's possible. We're going to use one of the beams to actually fish this bad boy out. Okay, so you have the Kamehameha kind of ball, and then you have the pegs, and there is, I think, probably in behind that yellow bit. Let's check. That way, if somebody is buying this figure, they get to know where their instructions are. Oh, not in behind the yellow bit. Right here. Instructions on how to put all these pegs in. You have 5 of the shorter ones, 2 of the longer ones, and then it shows exactly where they all go. It's in Japanese. They still have some English in here, so, you know, don't panic. I personally, this is going to be the hottest take because I do believe that accessories make a figure better, but the Vegito has the lightning effect, and the lightning bits are already in the ball, and that is so nice because I cannot stand taking these bad boys and figuring out exactly which hole they go in and getting them all set up, and then one of them falls out, or one of them doesn't fit, or one of them doesn't have a hole. It is a humbling experience, but it's a good accessory to have, especially because I will show, I'll put one of the hands that have the pegs, I will put that here. And stick that on, like so. Now, who really says that you need to have the effect piece? Maybe you're in the middle of a fight, and maybe, you know, he's charging in, and he's about to smack somebody up, and, you know, he's coming in like this. He's got his little blast piece here, and he's about to just, you know, give somebody a good old razzle-dazzle with it, and hit the old one-handed Kamehameha. You know, who's to say that's not his plan? And, you know, can't fault him. Can't ever fault Goku. He is arguably, he's not even my favorite Dragon Ball character, but it's hard to say that he's not the GOAT anime character. I'm a Vegeta fan, but, like, you gotta call a spade, man. Goku is the main character. He is the big dog. Okay. So yeah, you got his fist hands. We're getting deep into the accessories. You got his fist hands, as we've seen. You also have a good blast hand. You also have I'm going to hold it like this, a grabby hand. Maybe like a good, you know, choke hand, grab somebody, like grab a figure, have them like pinned up, something like that. And then of course you have the typical kung fu hands where the pinky and ring finger are a little bit kind of indented, and then these guys are like that, thumb like that. You know the drill. And then I already showed it, but the hands that are like blast hands, but they have the peg sticking out, that way you can actually hold the Kamehameha blast. All he's missing is an aura, which, like, I got those on deck, and that would make this figure even more elite. But, I mean, can you really complain when he comes with effectively 3 heads, multiple really well-done faces, multiple really well-done hands, and a Kamehameha blast? I don't think so. At some point, you got to be like, okay, we're getting a really quality figure, great articulation, great accessories, great paint. Like, even with the defect on the paint, like, he's solid. In my opinion, the accessories are like, I can't give him a 10, and the reason is I gave Vegito a 10. But if you think about it, Vegito also came with a spare head. He also came with multiple faces. He also came with multiple hands that are exclusive to the character. He came with a blast effect that had the lightning in it, and he came with an aura. The aura put him into the 10 category. Like, he is a 10. And if I gave that a 10, I have to dial it back for the Goku accessories and give him a 9. I mean, come on. You know, like, you gotta dial it back a little bit. Vegito had, and obviously that's an event exclusive. He's very expensive. Goku is actually pretty attainable. Great Christmas gift, by the way. If you're watching this, trying to figure out a Christmas gift, right here. An amazing collection starter. It's Goku. It's probably the best form of Goku, and it's probably one of the best figure arts that there is, if not the best. But yeah, I'm gonna have to give the accessories 9 just because I gave Vegito a 10, and Vegito came with so much. Articulation. This is the part I like. I have been waiting to do a 3.0 figure on this channel. I have quite a few, and we will continue to do them. But my God, y'all, the articulation on these 3.0s, the ankles have such good swivels. They can go down so good. They can go up pretty good. Obviously, do they have a toe bend? Come on now. They got a toe bend. They got a great toe bend. Double jointed knees on both sides. Also, yes, this swivels too. Up. Super far. Back. You can kind of curve them to the side here and get about here. If you go straight back, you're not getting much. But you can curve them to the back and it's fine. The splits. One thing with this guy, see how these jut out? You got to kind of put it in. Let's see if I can get this to focus. You got to put it in and then kind of just run them along because it'll clip. And that's to help with gapping. But he can indeed get a full split on both sides. I mean, he's very quality. The belt swivel also rotates. Oh, thigh rotation. They do rotate. They feel maybe a hair tight, but like they're not bad. They're gonna rotate exactly where you need them. Inward is about where it's gonna stop itself. But yeah, I mean they rotate really well. Let's see, waist swivel. He also swivels up here at the ab to chest joint. Down. He can look down pretty good. Up. He can look up pretty good. Wrist. In. Out. And then you have the thing where if you rotate it, he can do this or that. Super useful. Also, swivels. Double jointed elbow for the good elbows. Bicep swivel. He's just really bulky, so you might want to hold on to him a little bit. Goes more than a T pose, almost like a YMCA, pretty much a Y. He has the butterflies that you can either set inward and get less movement and kind of make them look a little bit more shouldery. I prefer to have them out because it makes him look very, very swole, very expanded, and you can go in pretty well, and you can go back pretty well. So, really solid. The neck, these 3.0s, I guess especially this guy, neck down, you'll have a little bit of gappage. You can push it back, up, super well. Side, side, and you don't have to try to rotate it like you do the wrist, which is super nice. Looks side to side, easy. And yeah, his articulation is solid. His posing, very, very good. You can pose him pretty much however you want to pose him. He's gonna do it, and it's not gonna look bad, which is really nice. Articulation is gonna be an easy 10. I'm not even gonna talk about it. Articulation is amazing. If this is a figure that you want to get as an adult and pose it up and make it look good on a shelf, great. If you're somebody who wants to play with your figures, amazing. You can. The articulation is there. He's quality enough, he's not going to snap. And if he does, you can kind of pop these legs off and put them back on. Try not to do so, but you can. He's a solid figure. He just is. Like, he's just a good figure. I am going to give the quality, I decided a 9.5 because I did dock a lot of points for the paint. And I figure if I'm going to dock points for paint, then the quality has already been covered in the paint section. The quality itself for me is more of a, it doesn't feel like it's going to snap in half. And he doesn't. In fact, he feels like he's going to be one of the best figures in my collection. Personally, I think he is. I can do some quick math really quick, but while I do that, before I do that, rather, we've been kind of talking about him. This is his DLC. Counterpart, yin, yang. Size comparisons, pretty accurate. I have him kind of leaning back, so let me get him standing upright. Frieza also standing upright. Height-wise, Frieza's head is about probably Goku's nose level. Frieza's a short king. We love a short king. Speaking of our short kings, we got, making a second appearance now in this video, also on Namek, because we're all over these Namek figs, I guess, in this episode, the 24K, thank God that's not the price, Vegeta. Vegeta, since I don't have a lot of working room, I can give you this. His hair spike really helps him. His shoulders are a bit under Goku's. His forehead peak, like the very top of his Widow's peak, is about, let me really get a look here, probably Goku's eye level, maybe a little bit less, which I would assume is accurate. Vegeta, again, short king. Now, let's bring in one tall figure. This guy is a hype one. Everybody loves. Cooler. He is cooler than Freezer, some might say. And he is tall as hell. In fact, Goku's spike only reaches his first little pricky bit here on his crown. Goku's forehead is like maybe chest level. Cooler's a big boy. So, yeah. Oh, and also, again, Frieza comes with the punch face, which is sick because I like the idea of a pose where Frieza's hitting him really hard in the face, and then maybe Goku in this hand is holding the Kamehameha Blast. Something where, like, you know, he's got an arm up protecting himself, but maybe Frieza's gotten past. Boom, he takes the hit. But over here, he's got that Kamehameha Blast at the ready, and it looks like he's about to, you know, launch it back. To me, that's a pretty dope posing idea. At least I like the idea of it. But yeah, let me do some math really quick. So again, first impressions, we had a 10. The paint, we had a 7.5. So currently we're at 17.5. Then we had a 9.5 on the actual quality itself, which would give us 27. Then we had a 9 on the accessories. That would give us 36. And then articulation, we had a 10. That would give us 46. Did this guy tie with Vegito? I have all of my reviews here. In fact, yeah, he did. He did. Okay, so I'm curious to see exactly what we did here. So I'm bringing it out. Excuse my poor handwriting. But both got a 10 on first impressions. That makes sense. Also, yes, you can see where I was doing my math. I did not want to get this wrong. I actually forgot to mention the number in the Vegito review, so I did it in the comments. Vegito's paint was much better. Makes sense considering he didn't have the chest defect. Quality, did they both get? Okay. He got a 9, he got a 9.5. I think the reason I did that is like the stress marks on the paint were weird, and it made me think that his articulation might be a little too up close if it's sitting there scratching up the paint. Let's see, accessories, he got a 10, he got a 9, that makes sense. Articulation, he got an 8, he's a 2.0 body, while being smooth, still at 2.0. Goku got a 10 because he is the best articulating figure that, other than maybe the reissue of the Super Saiyan Trunks from the future, review coming for that. I'm pretty sure I'm going to say that a million times on this channel. This has been a super long review though, and I know these reviews are very long, but I appreciate you guys for clicking them, watching them. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I will be back with another video, and it's looking like we're going to do full power Frieza, so I'm looking forward to that. Peace out, everybody. Stay blessed.